Have you ever struggled to stand up after sitting for a while, feeling that nagging stiffness in your hips? It's like your hips have decided to take a vacation and forgot to tell the rest of you. Hip stiffness is a common complaint, especially for those with arthritis. But what if I told you there's a way to reduce that stiffness and get you moving more freely and easily? Stick around, because in this video, we're going to dive into 3 simple exercises that can help loosen up those stubborn hips. Our first exercise is a great way to start waking up those hip muscles without putting any strain on your joints. This makes it perfect for anyone, regardless of age or fitness level. Sit up straight with your feet flat on the floor, about hip width apart. This position helps to stabilize your body. Make sure your knees are bent at a comfortable 90-degree angle. This ensures proper alignment and support. Gently press your feet down into the floor, like you're trying to push yourself up just a little bit. This subtle movement is key. Feel the muscles in your glutes and the backs of your legs start to activate. This is where the magic happens. Hold that gentle lift for about 3 to 5 seconds, then slowly release and lower back down. Control is important here. That's 1 repetition. Try to do about 5 to 10 of these glute activations. Consistency will bring the best results. Remember, this is all about gentle activation, so don't force anything. Listen to your body and move at your own pace. You might be surprised at how such a small movement can start to loosen up those hips. Over time, you'll notice increased flexibility and strength. Now that we've gently woken up our glutes, let's move on to an exercise that targets the muscles on the sides of our hips. Stay seated, keeping those feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. Place your hands lightly on the outsides of your knees for guidance. Slowly open your knees out to the sides as far as you comfortably can. Feel a gentle stretch in your inner thighs and a slight engagement in the muscles on the outer sides of your hips. Slowly bring those knees back together to the starting position. That's 1 repetition. Aim for 5 to 10 repetitions of these knee openers. Remember, slow and controlled is the key here. For our third exercise, we're going to stand up and get those hips ready for walking and movement. This is an essential warm-up that helps to activate your muscles and improve your balance. Stand with your feet about hip width apart. Make sure your posture is upright and your core is engaged. Shift your weight from one side to the other. This movement should be slow and controlled. Start by slowly shifting your weight onto your right foot, lifting your left heel just slightly off the ground. Feel the stretch in your hip and leg muscles. Hold that position for a second or 2, then slowly shift your weight over to the other side. Remember to breathe steadily. Keep shifting your weight from side to side, mimicking the natural movement of walking. This helps to improve your coordination and stability. You can do 10 to 20 of these weight shifts, or even more if you feel comfortable. The key is to listen to your body and move at your own pace. This exercise is a great way to warm up your hips before you start walking or doing other activities. It ensures that your joints are lubricated and ready for action. Now let's talk about a few exercises that you might want to avoid or modify if you have hip stiffness, especially if it's related to arthritis. The first exercise we'll look at is the seated march. This might seem like a good way to activate the hip muscles, but it can actually put a lot of strain on the front of your hips. When you lift your leg up high while seated, you're forcing your hip into a flexed position. If those hip flexor muscles are tight or irritated, this movement can aggravate them, leading to more pain and stiffness. Instead, focus on those gentle glute activations and knee openers we talked about earlier. Another exercise that can sometimes do more harm than good for hip stiffness is the straight leg raise. Lifting your entire leg up straight requires a lot of flexibility and strength in your hip flexors. If those muscles are already tight or inflamed, this movement can put a lot of stress on them. If you enjoy doing leg raises, try modifying the exercise. Instead of lifting your entire leg up straight, bend your knees slightly and focus on engaging your core muscles as you lift. This will help take some of the pressure off your hip flexors. And as always, listen to your body. Our final exercise to approach with caution when it comes to hip stiffness is the leg extension. This is a popular exercise for strengthening the quadriceps muscles at the front of the thighs. Many gym goers include it in their routine to build muscle definition and strength. However, if you have hip pain or stiffness, leg extensions might not be your best bet. The movement can exacerbate existing issues and lead to further discomfort. When you perform a leg extension, you're isolating your quadriceps muscle and using it to straighten your leg. This isolation can be beneficial for muscle growth, but problematic for those with hip concerns. This can put a lot of pressure on your hip joint, especially if you have any pre-existing hip issues. The repetitive motion and the load on the joint can lead to increased pain and potential injury. If leg extensions aggravate your hip pain, try doing squats or lunges instead. These exercises engage multiple muscle groups and provide a more balanced workout. These exercises work your quadriceps muscles in a more functional way without putting as much direct pressure on your hip joints. They also help improve overall lower body strength and stability, making them a safer alternative for those with hip issues. So there you have it. 3 simple exercises that can help combat hip stiffness and 3 to approach with caution or modify to better suit your needs. Try incorporating the glute activations, knee openers, and standing weight shifts into your daily routine. Every little bit of movement counts. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend or family member who might benefit from these exercises. And be sure to subscribe to the channel for more tips on staying healthy and active. Let's combat hip stiffness together and get back to enjoying all the things we love to do.